Hello everyone, welcome back to day 2 tutorial of developing trivia game with multiplayer setup. So in the last video we worked on the chat and you know adding the members, right? Let's quickly recap of what we have done. You can skip this video, skip this section if you don't want to watch the recap. So in the last video we have added this typewriting and this chat messages, right? So um now in this video we are going to add the admin controls. We're going to add a button here so that admin can start the game, and we are going to add some questions uh, and a UI for the members so that people can look at what are the questions, current question, and answer them. So, for the recap, what we have done is so we have created a index.html. So this is the main page where everyone can come and chat here, right? So here we had integrated type.js for the typewriting effect, and we have added user details. So this is coming from the backend from here, right? So for this one, the function is user, and it is fetching both name and role, and it returns to the index.html. So this is where we are showing. For the typewriting, we have added type.js, right? So I've added few texts in array, and that is what it is being displayed here. And we also added a text chat where I will send a message that will be saved in this sheet, right? And it will fetch back, I think, for every 3 seconds, and that will show up here. And we use Tailwind CSS for all the styling, right? So I hope you remember everything. All right, so let's go to the admin controls now. So what I want to do is to uh, add a sheet for questions. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I have created uh, these questions in another sheet. So I will simply copy paste those items here. Okay. So always the right answer will be option A. I mean here it will be option A so that you can add them here. Okay, so it will be easy for you, right? If I add, if one option is always right, so we can shuffle them. Um, in the question and answers when we provide show it to the team, we can shuffle it. Okay, so questions and answers are ready, and I also want to create one more sheet called settings. So here I'm going to add these settings like number of questions. Like for each question, what is the time, and randomize means whether you want to mix up the questions, like randomize the questions, or if you set it to no, this will come in sequence. Like first 20 questions you will get, like first 10 questions you will get. Okay, all right. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay. So let me delete. Okay. So I will add myself as admin. Okay. So for the admin, even though it's admin, even admin can chat. So that will be common for everyone. Okay. So this page is common for everyone. But for admin, I'm going to add one more button called start game. Okay. It will be seen only by admin. So here, so after this one, okay, here. So this is start game. Okay, so this is the button. So for start game, what I will do is let's do some styling. I'll put full width. No, so this will be full width. Or wait, let me do it step by step. So I'll put a padding and background. Where is the color? Okay, background highlight. Let's use this one. Okay, so this is how it is looking now. Let's add a rounded borders and font. Let's put it to semi bold. Okay, this is good, right? So for the send, what we did, let's look at. Okay, width is 1/5. One moment, let's look at Tailwind CSS for this centering items. Okay, align self center. Let's try this one. Okay, this is good, right? So the button is at the bottom. I don't know how to switch off this. It keeps getting messages. Oh, okay, sorry. So let's add px, which is on x-axis. Okay, start game. I think this is better, right? So I want to make sure this is only for the admin. No one else should be able to see it. So here we are also fetching the role. So what I have to do is similarly what we did here, just need to add a if condition like this. If dot user details dot role is equal to admin, we'll open the brackets. If is wrong. Okay, okay. So I think equal to is not required. Let me check now. Okay, this is good. So if I make myself member instead of admin, let me reload. I should not get the button. Okay, this is good. Now we can be sure that this button is only available for admin. Okay, so once I click start button, so it has to go to a new page called quiz. Okay, so now we need to fetch all the questions here and show it in the front end. So this page will be viewed by everyone like admin, the users, right? But this is a question and answer, so I think it's better I provide a different UI for admin, but let's keep it simple for now. Everyone will have the same UI which has questions and answers. Okay, so when I click this, I'll set this to start game. Initially, it's no, but when I click start game on the front end, okay, so this will be set to yes. When it is set to yes, everyone will move to quiz screen. Okay, let's do that. Okay, for now I'll add this. Okay, so when I click start game, so for this one, let's add a ID for this button. ID equal to start game. On click, I'll add the function name also start game. Function start game. Google dot run dot script. One second, I always get confused here. Okay, Google dot script dot run. Okay, with success handler dot. So we need to create a function on code.js. So here I will say this is to start game. So I'll create the function start game. So in settings, it has to update, right? So let's add the sheet here. Sheet underscore settings equal to sheet dot get sheet by name settings. Okay, now sheet underscore settings dot get range of this one is B4, right? B4 dot set value. What should we say? Yes, it should set to yes, right? Okay. Now I have to run this code. I mean this function start game. Okay. All right. So let's reload this one. Let me click start game, and it should say yes. It's not happening. One moment. Um, Start game on click, start game, google.script.run dot start game. Okay, let me reload again. Let me add a console here, console.log. Game is going to start. Okay, so this one is not running. That's the problem. So what is the issue? Uh, okay, now it worked. Sometimes I make very silly mistakes. I forgot to add these brackets. Okay, uh, now every page, every screen should go to the quiz screen now. So we need to redirect them. So for redirect, window dot reload. There is one URL. Okay, let's use this for now. Page equal to quiz. I'll explain you. Just let me check this how if it is working correctly or not. Okay, this is wrong. So window dot open. Okay, let's try again. Okay, it is opening the page, but it's wrong page. I'll explain you what to do. So for now, the redirect thing is working. So what we'll do is instead of opening a new page, I will put this underscore top so that it will open on the same page. Okay, so this is coming. All right, so now we need to add the redirect thing. So what I will do is I'll add something called e or any variable you can add. Generally, I add it as E. Easy to what you say check. So here now I'll check the parameter. So the parameter here is page equal to quiz. If the page equal to quiz is there, then I will open the quiz page. If it is nothing, then I will open this page. Okay. So if e dot parameter page, if there is no parameter as page, it will open the default page. Okay, else return instead of index, we are going to put it as e dot parameter dot page. So now it will open the quiz. Let me delete this. Okay, so if I click start game, it has to open quiz screen. You see this? Okay, okay, this is great. So we have added the redirection. So this is done. So now let's make little modification here. So here instead of adding the whole length of URL, I would like to uh, one more thing. Whenever I publish a new version, this link changes. Okay, so this link changes every time. So it's difficult for us to keep updating the links, right? So what we can do is we can fetch the links uh, from a script service. Okay, so what I will do is I would like to create one function where it will pull the current link, and it will pass it to the front end. So here I'll call a function called get URL. Okay, so here what I will do is um, let me create a URL here. Okay, here URL equal to script app dot get service dot um, get URL. Okay, so once we get this, let's do one thing. Let's log it and see if it is working correctly. I keep forgetting to add brackets. Okay, great. So we got the current URL. Okay. So when what we have done here, user details equal to user. So we are running this function, right? Similarly, we shall run um, get URL function as well, so that we'll know the URL uh, in the front end. Okay, so here instead of lengthy URL, let's remove this one. Okay, now let's see. Okay, great, it is working. All right. Okay, fine. So this is working fine. So what I did is I added it in the success handler. So if it has updated this one perfectly, then it will redirect. Okay, that's what I did. Okay, so now we need to add all the headers in the quiz screen as well. But what I want to do is I want to add a common HTML file for header. Okay, so I will add all these here. So I'm going to load this page here in the header of every page, so that I don't need to copy paste every time, right? So uh, if I make the changes in this header page, it will update in every pages. Okay, so this is how we have to include header. Okay, one moment. I think I did something wrong. Okay, let's create was something called. We need to create a function first, so that I'll call the function as include file or include name. So I'm going to include header whenever I call this function. So we have something called HTML service dot create template output. Create HTML output from file of name dot get content. Okay, so we need this function. So by doing this, okay, so by doing this, I'm going to get all these details, and I'm going to show it here. So here it should be. So this is a function, right? So this should be equal to include header. Okay, so what we'll do is at the beginning itself, when the page loaded, we are going to call the function called include. Okay, so this one, and we are passing the name as header, and it will get the content from the header here, and it will load in this page. Okay, let's see. If I reload it, it should look same. Okay, great. So let's do the same in the quiz screen. Okay, so let's click start button. Okay, great. So it has loaded Poppins font, so which means it is working. All right, so now we need to create a, UI where it will show the question. What is the category? Question count, like how many questions it has passed. Category, the question, and it should give four options. The options should be randomized. Okay, so the settings should also be randomized. Like, I mean, in the settings, if I put randomize, the question should be randomized, and based on that, it will send it to the front end, and it will show all the content here. So I will get some 30 seconds timer, and I should be able to click some buttons. All right, so let's get to it. Now let's build the UI. So we need one block here and two four blocks for answers and one item um, for the countdown, right? All right. So let's start working uh, with building the UI. So let's use what we did in index. So I will first create the same div what we did in index.html. Then slowly we'll start building everything. Okay, so the look and the layout, everything is aligned to the index page now. Okay, so I want to use this block for question. Let's use an input. Okay, so initial value, I'm putting some question for now. Later we can fetch it from the sheet. Okay, and this should be read only so that it won't affect the or else let's do one thing. Why do we need an input? Let's simply put the question here in paragraph. Okay, we can modify it later, right? So for now let's quickly build the UI, then we can keep modifying it. So she is option A, option B, option C, option D. Okay, so let's increase the size of the question. Let's put it to semi bold first, and text size is 2XL. Let's try it. Okay, I think this is fine. So let's add one more block here. So let's make it flex column and put a gap of maybe 5 so that we can have some spacing here. Okay, so there is some space here now. So I would like to you set put a grid here, um, grid of 2 columns. I think is this correct? Let me check once. Okay, let's check it in Tailwind CSS. Hmm, so grid rows. Okay, this is the format. Okay. Two rows. 1 second. Okay, so this is fine, right? Now we have four options, one question, and now I would like to place them in the middle. It's left line. I would like to place them in the middle. So place self center. Let's try this one. Okay, this is good, right? But it's too, it's too on the top. Let's put it down. It's maybe to the center of the screen, right? So let's do it. Justify center. Okay, I think this is fine, right? This is fine. Maybe I will shall increase the gap between question and answers a little bit. Okay. So now once I select an option, I need a button to submit, right? So let's add that as well. These are answers, and this is submit. Okay. Now let's style it a little. BG is color highlight, and rounded. Let's add a padding also. Okay, and let's put the font as semi bold. So in other buttons, how did we did? Let's check. It's okay, rounded. It just rounded we did. Let's do the same, and also width also let's decrease it a little bit. It is just to maintain consistency. That's all. Okay, so align items. So this should be okay. So content center. Oh wait, justifies. Okay. I think this is the one. Let's try. Let's put it to items center. Okay. So we did it in the wrong. We put item center in the wrong div, so that's why it was not working. Okay. So this one, this also came to center. Okay. Let's try to increase the width. Let's put it to full, and also let's increase the width of submit button a little. So I'm doing it as 1/4. Okay. Okay. This is better, right? I'm not focusing too much on the UI. I think this is sufficient. Okay, and we need to show category. So we have category, we have question, we have all the options, and also we need a timer for 30 seconds. Okay, category. For now, I'll just add this one. Timer also, I'll just put it like that for now. Okay, so category will say maybe general knowledge. So I want to put these two in the same block so that they can be shown side by side. Justify evenly. Let's see. It should come side by side and should take equal sides, like equal space. Okay, so now let's add a gap of 10. Or let's do one thing. Instead of evenly, let's put justify between. So both will be on two different corners. Okay, let's remove gap. Let's put it as width full. Now let's see. Okay, this is fine, right? So this is category, and maybe we'll put it in semi bold. Let's make this one timer as maybe bold. Maybe we'll increase the text size also. Let's see what happens if we increase for the whole block the text size. Okay, so for options also, maybe it's better we increase the size. Okay, yeah, this is fine, right? This is fine. Also, I'm doing this video without any prayer preparation. um, so that's why you might see any searching for material or searching for things, getting some clarification with some these guidelines or the documentation. I hope it's fine, right? So okay, now let's increase the button size. Okay, I think this is fine. This is fine, right? Okay, so when I hover on these options, I would like to show a transparent, I mean, semi-transparent or whatever you call it, highlight. So one moment. So this should be hover, yes, hover, BG, highlight. Okay, so we'll get the solid background. We'll make it transparent later. So it should be rounded and two padding, right? Okay. What if we make it as a button instead of div? Okay, this is better now. All right, so maybe I can say the design is done. You can always beautify it as per your thoughts. but I think for now we can say that design is fine. Okay, so now when I click on these options, I would like to keep the highlight, just as it is. So let's add IDs for each button. Option A, option A, option B, option C, option D. Set color to button, whatever um, you can call the function. So on click, okay, this function, this dot ID, we are going to pass the ID. Okay, so when the button clicks, let's see if the ID is working, like it is fetching the ID properly or not. Okay, option A, option B, option C, option D, right? Okay, this is working. Okay, so now I'll call item equal to document dot get element by ID, which is ID, and item dot style, item dot color equal to. So what is the color of this one? Color is, yeah. Style dot color. Okay, okay, this is working. Okay, instead of color, we need to put it as background color. Sometimes I keep forgetting the attributes, the exact words. Okay, now it is working, right? Okay, so the issue here is the color stays as it is. When I click another button, the previous button color should be set to uh, normal. Okay, so let's get all the items first. Option A, option B, option C, option D. Okay, now once I get all these colors, um, I mean all these objects, let's set the color of all styling. So we are going to set the color to normal first for all the items. So this is little easy. Uh, Otherwise, you'll have to write a dynamic, a little complex code identifying which ID we are passing and setting other buttons to transparent. So instead of that, what we can do is simply set all the buttons as transparent, and the required button will change it to the required color. So item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4. Instead of writing transparent, let's do one thing. It is not maintaining, it is not setting this to the required color. Okay, this is what I missed. Sometimes I make silly mistakes. All right, so this is working fine, right? So when I submit, it should submit to the sheet. Let's create a sheet called quiz. I'll put the ID here. ID answered by timestamp. Okay, so instead of pasting the whole thing, I mean the question, answer, everything. I think it's simply we'll just paste the ID where the ID comes from the sheet. We'll do it later. I don't want to do everything in this video itself, right? So it will be confusing. Already, it's a lot of content to digest. So what we'll do is we'll just paste the question, the ID, answer, and who answered email, and the timestamp. Okay, that's all we are going to do. Okay, so when I press submit button, I would like to send the data to backend function. Submit answer. Okay, and put the ID and option. Okay, let not select. Wait a minute. So we need to pass the answer, not the options. Okay, for now, let's see how it works. Then we can modify it in the next video. That's not a problem, right? So for now, let's see how to submit the data. So once this is done, we'll use google.script.run um, dot. I'll say save answer, or we can use the same thing, not a problem. Same name. Okay, save answer to the sheet function. Save answer. So what is the sheet? Quiz sheet. Let's create one more constant here. Sheet quiz. Okay, let's do one. So sheet dot quiz dot append row. So here ID comma option. We'll change it later. How do we by so when we fetch the data, we'll see how to which one we have to pass, whether it's ID, option, or answer. We'll check that later in the next video. For now, let's paste the data here. ID comma option comma, where is my email? Yes, my email ID, comma, timestamp, date dot now. So on button, click. The function is submit answer. So ID should be this dot ID. Okay, so the option should come from the selection. We'll do that later. For now, let's see if the data is submitting or not. Option is not defined. Okay. For now, let's put the option as this. So I'm passing it as string for now. Date is not defined. I think it just should be now. What happened? Wait. Yeah, that's what I did, right? Date dot now is what I did. Not sure. Okay, okay. So, oh god. So D should be capital, and this should be in brackets. Okay, great. Instead of now, let's do. Okay, let's try again. Why it is not? Okay, great. So the issue was nap script we can use new date. Okay, I forgot about that. Anyways, now the issue is done, right? So for now, ID also ID I will put it as one for now, just for testing purpose. So in the next video, we're going to fetch all the questions, or set them as random, and whichever question we select the options and submit, then it will paste it in the quiz sheet. Okay, so now we need to get the option here. Which option is selected? So we need to know that. So let's create a variable called option selected. Option selected equal to ID. So we are passing the option as ID, right? So I'm doing the same. Okay, so let's see. No, sorry, this should be ID. This should be ID, and this should be option selected. And we can remove the option here. Okay, let's select option C. Let's submit. Okay, great. Answered by is my email ID, and you can see the timestamp. So if I select option D, submit. Okay, great. Okay, I think it's better we conclude this video here. There is a lot of things to do. So in the next video, we are going to fetch all the questions and randomize them. And now, based on number of questions, we'll set it. We'll set the timer. We'll set the questions, and we'll randomize the questions. Okay, so we are going to work on that. Then step by step, we are going to build the complete the trivia game. So it should start with when admin press start. It should take everyone to the game screen. Then it has to show 10 or how many questions set by the admin. After for every 30 seconds, it has to show the question, and once the quiz is done, it has to calculate the score, and it has to display the score for everyone on the screen, right? So that's what we are going to do. So for now, let's conclude it here. In the next video, we are going to see how to fetch the data, randomize it, and show it on the screen. All right, so I hope you are learning something. If it is something difficult to understand, if you want me to make it much simpler, or maybe the speed is too fast, you can let me know. So based on that, I will improve myself, and make better videos. All right, see you in the next video.